This is False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Buhler, lead writer for FanSided. I'm joined today by a man who really likes monster trucks, who may also have a preference for track lighting, but you got to get a big Montana in him first from Arby's. Cody Williams, content director, fansided.com. I'll answer the door when I'm eating. How about you?
I just need you to save me, Bueller. That's all I need today, man. I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back. And what an
Yeah.
episode to be back for.
Yes, sorry, starters, for delaying this. Life's happened. People want us to do stuff. This is the long anticipated Saving Silverman episode. We're in the
Yes.
heart of the off season. Next episode is going to be not a college football show. Then we'll get into our preview, and then the season will be here. But before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, give this thing a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. It really helps the show grow. Kind of wonder how much, what do you think Wayne's Yelp score would be for pest control?
It's probably in the threes because, it gets the job done. But, methods a bit obscure, I will say.
100%. I mean, this Wayne, Darren, and JD, they
It's
changed the
like,
game. And Coach Norton too.
oh, 100, Coach Norton's forever the GOAT. No doubt about it.
Yes, and obviously we've all started here. Our first and 15 today. Coming to yeah. What the hell we got here? Some kind of public access show or something? Let's pat the doc. Our last lingering thoughts from talking season. All the media days are done. A lot of people were saying things. John Summerall talked a lot. And Kurt Signetti, maybe that's where we start.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Signetti's still Kurt Signetti is really what it boils down to. Like, he's not going to stop talking his ass right now, and nor should he, quite frankly. He just won a national championship undefeated in Indiana. If you're ever going to have an opportunity to talk some S, it's right now.
Yeah, and I think they just canceled their home and home with Notre Dame because that's super cool. Yeah, way to you can Google me. Next time says cupcakes and
Hey, man,
championships.
look, they still won a national championship playing some cupcakes. I can't, like, in the future, if Indiana starts to, pull back from this, I'm all for criticizing Kurt Signetti with scheduling. But until then, until there's like, countrywide or college football wide like rim or what's the word I'm looking for, stipulations for what your
Right.
non-conference has to be, why would you play anybody? Like, we want to see those games as college football fans. I'm not denying that, but like, if you're Indiana, you have no incentive to do that.
I mean, you can go out to eat and not tip. I mean, you can technically do that, but people will frown on you.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, he's just out there just peacocking, and he's earned the right to do that for this year. Pete Golding, I don't know if he's had any training in front of the podium. That was interesting.
I will say it definitely didn't like quell any of my fears about first time head coach Pete Golding because he looks like first time head coach Pete Golding. Um, God, I hope he has a little training and like talking to a locker room because he certainly doesn't have it talking to the media right now.
No, not at all. Not even one little bit. I mean, trying to transcribe Manny Diaz stuff is like trying to transcribe the show when I'm talking. He doesn't know where it's gonna go. People like him, I guess.
He's just talking, man. He doesn't have anything written down. He's just up there talking, which as a man who likes to just talk, I respect it.
And I do too. Who else had like oh yeah, Will Stein, just super cocky. You're gonna win 3 games this year, brother.
Yeah, we talked about Will Stein, but it does deserve mentioning again because brother, just a friendly reminder that you're at Kentucky. You're in Lexington, Kentucky, and that's a basketball school. It's always going to be a basketball school.
And Brett Bielema was feeling himself. And that's pretty good. Maybe Illinois will be a team that'll surprise some people this year, but Bert was feeling it, dude.
I mean, and he is like the diet version of Signetti. Like, he hasn't accomplished obviously what Signetti has at this point, but he's also like a made man at this point. Actually, you
Yeah.
know who he is? He's basically Matt Campbell at Iowa State. You've overachieved what Illinois football traditionally is. You've overachieved like what Illinois football has been in recent years, and you seem to have a good thing going to where like not only is your ceiling raised from what it was, but your floor is raised substantially too. Because and it's largely because of Bert. You know what I mean? So like I think he has every reason to peacock, and like he's not doing it in the same like taunting manner that Kurt Signetti is. He's doing it more in a like I'm very comfortable in my current position right now.
He seems to really like Caden Hauser coming over from
Mhm.
ECU by way of Michigan State. Maybe this will kind of be addition by subtraction without having Luke Altmaier there. So maybe this will be a really good like 9-3 Illinois team.
No, I mean, and Hauser, when I remember us like kind of mentioning him last year, talking about the G6 going to ECU because he had some moments at Michigan State. It's not
Yeah.
an untalented guy, and ECU had some issues last year. I don't think Caden Hauser was necessarily one of them, and he had a hard time staying healthy. So like him getting healthy, him getting into a better, another Big Ten infrastructure, I think will be good for him.
And then Matt Campbell, that's just the most boring person alive, which I'm not really shocked by.
Somehow Penn State found someone more boring than James Franklin, which is an achievement, I will say.
That's why they'll never hire Matt Rule. It's like this guy is just not what we're supposed to do.
It's too much personality, you know? Like they watch a Kurt Signetti interview at Penn State and they're like turned off immediately. Like we could never.
No, it's like giving somebody from like the Victorian age, like the dust from like Cool Ranch Doritos, and it just blows their mind or kills them. They can't handle that spice.
I mean, what do you expect from a school that thinks white helmets are iconic? You didn't even put anything on it. It's just white.
They are who they are, I guess.
That's right. They are.
God, isn't it wild that like Matt Campbell's like college best friend is Nick Sirianni?
I mean, it's hard to fathom what those two would talk about other than football.
Yeah, one's like Bradley Cooper and the other one's like Silent Bob.
That's right. He just hits him with like a chasing Amy, like out of nowhere.
Yeah. Anything else from talking season?
No, man, I'm done with talking season. Let's get these boys into camp. That's where I'm at, man.
Yeah. I mean, during talking season, you go up to Matt Campbell, you're like, you've been pitching loaves on the lawn. I play croquet out there. Playoffs, you kidding me? God, I love that line.
It's so good.
I play croquet out
I
there.
play croquet.
So this is your idea. Explain this to the starters what we're doing exactly.
Yeah, we want to find out, we're looking at the R12 projected playoff teams and we're finding out what loaves they're pinching while everyone else is trying to play croquet. Essentially, we're trying to look at these playoff teams and what's going to keep them from winning a national championship. Obviously, we're not going to go through the whole top 25, so we're just limiting it to our 12 college football playoff projected teams. So that's where we're going to go and we're going to talk about mostly the same teams. We do obviously have them in a different order.
Yeah, and we'll probably do this in a couple of weeks here, and our list will probably be different after doing our preview shows because that's how these things go. Um, so your first team is going to be Texas. My first team is going to be Ohio State.
Mhm.
Um, let's just start. Like, okay, let's start with Texas.
Yeah.
What's kind of the holdup with the Longhorns for you or us?
I mean, I think for me, it really comes down to Arch like making the leap. And I'm the biggest Arch Manning believer on this program for sure. But I'm one of the bigger ones in the country, I would say, in terms of national media that covers college football. I'm a believer that he can make the leap. I'm a believer in what we saw the last 6 to 7 weeks of last season. And that being, that's what you're progressing from. You're not talking about the guy who played Ohio State in week one last year. Having said that, you still need him to make a leap forward. You still need him to be a guy who's going to take advantage of having one of the best receiving corps in the country with Cam Coleman coming in there. You need him to be the guy who's not going to waste having what should be an upgraded running game with the offensive line and the running backs that you brought in this year. And it really comes down to, is Arch Manning the guy? Is he a dude? Is he not? We know he's a touted dude. We know he's highly respected and highly talented, but I need you to be a dude between those 60 minutes when you're on the football field. And like, I honestly, like, I know that's simplistic, but I really do think it is about Arch Manning becoming like a superstar type of talent.
I think he is a superstar type of talent. Again, like I've kind of been like a critic of him throughout the entire process, but I know that what he can do at his peak, it lives up to the hype, and I'm
Mhm.
okay with that. And maybe he can put it all together. We'll see what happens. I have Texas at 6 as the SEC runner up, but
Mhm.
again, like they're firmly going to make the playoff. My biggest concern with Texas is Steve Sarkisian going to be a teeth clincher like Uncle Peyton, or is he can he go to the bathroom? Can he go in a urinal with somebody else in the bathroom? And
Yeah.
and just like I think getting Will Muschamp over from I guess Vanderbilt at that point. Vanderbilt fan. His son is
That's
playing there.
right.
To be an upgrade over Pete Kwiatkowski, maybe that will be all the difference for Texas because they've got the talent. You've
Mhm.
got the receiving core. You've got the defensive line. Secondary is pretty good. I don't know how great they are going to be at running the football, but Arch is going to certainly be a major factor in that.
They can't be worse than they were last. Them in
That's what I'm
Alabama, their run
saying.
games were effing terrible last
Yeah.
year.
So it's ultimately it's the combination of Sark and Arch, pretty much.
No, 100%. And like when I talk about Arch, like it is a big game thing too, because we haven't necessarily seen him step up to the caliber that you want him to in those big games. And like it's kind of a chicken or the egg situation. Is that an Arch problem? Because it was also a Quinn Ewers problem, but maybe we're finding out that Quinn Ewers may not have been as talented as we thought. So, is it a quarterback problem? Is it a Sark problem? And that's kind of, that is definitely a big part of the equation.
So number one for me is Ohio State. I think the
Mhm.
big thing for me, I'm a little nervous about their backfield. That includes quarterback and running back.
Mhm.
Sayan can play, but I feel like he needs a lot around him to be great. I don't necessarily know how great Ohio State's going to be running the football. I know it's going to be a priority and it'll probably sort itself out with Arthur Smith as the new OC. Coaching's fine. Coaching's good. I have no issues with this. Defensively, I think they'll be pretty good. I don't think there's going to be any unit that's like stupendous. They did
Mhm.
lose a lot in the linebacking core. I just kind of wonder the combination of the offensive line, running game, and Sand really getting going for the Buckeyes this year.
No, you hit on mine. It's Julian Sane because I think Julian Sane is a good, not a great player. And yes, he does have a lot of talent around him, but he also has less proven talent than he did last year. Cardinal Tate's not on this team
Right.
anymore. And you've lost like you saw some pieces on the offensive line like struggle last year. And like yes, you have a year of growth and we saw some of them round into form, but at the same time, like if that offensive line still isn't getting there, I don't trust Julian Sand to be a playmaker behind it. I don't trust the running game, to your point, to necessarily be someone or something they're going to be able to rely on necessarily. So I definitely think that you targeting the backfield, that's the right call. Because for me, I don't know if Sayan is the type of player to make a leap. And so that puts a lot of pressure, to your point, on a defense that did lose a lot of really key pieces of really big playmakers.
I mean, Ohio State's my projected national champion. I think that they'll figure it out potentially here, but this could also hit the fan for them
Mhm.
too. Like they could win 9 games and still make the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to clarify, like we're picking nits here with
Yeah,
these
yeah,
top
yeah.
teams in our projected fields because they're very good, and that's why we have them projected near the top of our fields.
All right, who's two for you? Who's next team we're going to
I had
discuss?
Ohio State at number two, so we've already
Okay.
discussed that. Yeah.
And number two for me would be Georgia,
Hmm.
who I have winning the SEC. I think there's two big issues with them. I think that I don't know how good the pass rush is going to be, and Glenn Schumann sucks. Like
Right.
Bobo's good. Bobo gets a lot of flack. His son's going to probably be potentially be a first round pick at
Right.
number the first center off the board. Stockton, the running game is going to be good. I think the receiving core will figure it out a little bit too. I know some people have some trepidation about that as well. Secondary is going to be filthy. We know the linebacking core is good, but it really just comes down to like the pass rush and Glenn Schumann, really, for me, man.
No, and for me it comes down to the coordinators. And like I'm not necessarily a Bobo defender, but I'm also definitely not a detractor from Bobo either. And I think the big key with Bobo is making sure that he doesn't limit himself in this offense. Like I don't want the play calling to be what limit. If like the receivers don't necessarily break out, I still think this offense can do enough to where they get to a next level. But to your point, this is really about Schumann because the past couple of years we've watched Georgia defenses that are loaded with talent. You look at every level, and we're talking about NFL caliber talent through all three levels of the defense, and they haven't necessarily performed up to snuff. We've kind of seen a steady decline since we've had the brain drain and since Glenn Schumann really took over this side of the ball. And with that happening, like I you and I put pressure on Glenn Schumann, but I feel like nationally there's not as much pressure on Glenn Schumann as there probably should be because I feel like he has underperformed every step of the way with this job. And I would argue, like, even though there has been talent, this is probably the best top to bottom defense that they've had in the past couple of years. So, like, if you do it with this unit, then that's like, this is going to be very much on you. But I do want to throw Bobo in there as something that does concern me, just because, like, the reason, in my opinion, why he gets as much criticism as he does is because he has very conservative tendencies, which makes sense when your best friend's Kirby Smart, you know what I mean? And like Kirby Smart's a defensive minded guy. So like you want to have that conservative mindset, but to some degree you have to start taking chances. You have to be aggressive when it does count. And like I feel like if Bobo misses those opportunities, that could bite them in the ass a little bit as well.
I don't really have a problem with him in the red zone. He's usually going to
No.
figure out, he's going to put Stockton in a position. It's kind of the in between the 20s.
Mhm.
And then Schumann is
A lot
just,
of drives that stall out, like
yeah,
inexplicably. Like when you have momentum and a drive stalls out. Like it's just that's the stuff that worries me with Bobo.
it most certainly does. Okay, number three for you. Who's next team we're going to talk about?
Unfortunately, it's Notre Dame.
And I've got them at five.
Yeah, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, man. I think for me, it's mostly just like a roster talent issue. Like I just don't know if this team's good enough to win a national championship. And I'm not trying to like diminish. Like, I think this is a good football team. I think it's one of the 10 best teams in the country, but I would have them talent wise, looking on paper, I would have them closer to that, 7 to 10 range than I would that 4-1 range. The reason I have them as the number 3 seed is because of the schedule. And so I look at this and I wonder, like, you catch Miami relatively early in the season again. And like, I do think that's probably why a game that Miami drops. That's why I don't have Miami in the spot ahead of them. And so, like, I look at this and I just wonder. I don't trust CJ Carr to the degree that some people do. I like the running game is going to take a step back. You're talking about losing your two leading rushers who were also two first round picks in terms of NFL talent. You're talking about an offensive line that has shuffled a lot of pieces over the past couple of years. You're talking about a defense that is going to be good under Marcus Freeman. That's what we've come to expect from Marcus Freeman. But like in terms of like reaching that next gear, I don't know if Notre Dame has that. And the worst part about it is if with the schedule that they have in front of them, I don't know if we're going to see them reach that next gear at any point or have to, excuse me.
Yeah, being able to figure out what it specifically is with Notre Dame for me is hard. I think it's some combination of Carr, it's some combination of the schedule, and it's partially Marcus Freeman. I'll
Mhm.
probably go with that. He learned it from Brian Kelly. Let's start slow, man. And
Yeah.
when you do that, when you're very much still on summer vacation, like Brian Kelly or Mark Richt or anybody else who's notorious for this, like with the fact you don't play in a conference, you put a lot of pressure on yourself where you gotta win the Miami and BYU games or at least split them because what
Mhm.
else are you gonna have on the schedule that's gonna matter?
No, 100%. I'm all the way. I mean, like really the problem with Notre Dame is that they're Notre Dame, and like that, I know that's way too simplistic, so we have to unpack it more. But that's the real problem here.
And I think that's fair. Number three for me is Miami. Where do you have the Canes?
I have them at 4.
Okay,
So
cool. Yeah, right. We're moving right along.
yeah.
They've got tremendous coordinators. I think Mario Cristobal is a good head coach, great head coach for them. I think there's two things. I, I don't think I don't think Darian Mintz is a guy that has grit, and
Hmm.
that scares me. But you also have Mark Fletcher, who is just pure grit at this point.
Right.
Um, I think that like we've seen so many teams like this in sports that break through in a big way in a year nobody was expecting to, and you put those expectations on them, and then they kind of crumble and fall short. I just don't know if this team's as steady as it needs to be. More importantly, I think there's also a chance that maybe the defense pulls back. Heatherman has got to coach his ass off to make
Mhm.
up for the fact that you don't have Mesidor and Bain on the team anymore.
No, and that's where it is for me is the defensive side of the football. I'm a little bit higher on Mensa. I do think like to the point like already said it. Like I think Notre Dame, catches them early in the season because I think there is going to be some growing pains on that side of the ball because even if Mensa has whether Mensa has good or not, he's still going to have to adjust to the system. He's still going to have to get timing right with Fletcher, with Tony, with the playmakers that you have in this offense. But like for me, it's the defense because you look at what Miami did to reach the national championship game last year, and yes, Beck played well. Yes, Mark Fletcher played well. But at the end of the day, it was on the strength of the defense. What that
Yeah.
defense, and particularly the front four, was able to do. And I think they're still going to be good, largely because I have a lot of faith in Heatherman as a play caller and as a coordinator. But at the same time, I don't think you have the same level of dude. I don't think you have the same level of talent that you're talking about that can impact the game to the level to the degree that Bain and Mesidor did.
I mean, I love me some Bryce Fitzgerald in the back end, and then Damon Wilson. I'm like, this is kind of the guy that I'm saying, like, maybe not necessarily a grit dude per se.
Like, I think Damon Wilson's going to be good. I
Yeah,
don't think he's as good as Mesidor Bain though. And like that's
no,
like your ace in the hole right now.
no, those two guys were nasty. Those two guys were just they were willing to, to muddy it up and just make it happen, and that's what made
Mhm.
them such tremendous players.
Mhm.
So next up for me, the team I've got at four, I've got Indiana. I don't know where you have them on your list.
I have them at 6. So we're getting there.
Okay, so I keep doing the wrong thing. I've tried to strike through, not underline, and I have to go back through this again. For Indiana, yes, I could say it's Josh Hoover,
Mhm.
but there's a hubris there, and I don't think anybody is going to. Kurt Sigalet is going to become a villain here very quickly, and I don't think that that's if he's really going to be comfortable with that. Indiana is going to lose a game this year. They're going to lose two
Yeah.
games this year. This isn't that you're not going to go undefeated
Mm.
because you don't have Fernando Mendoza on your team, man. You just don't have that. Bryant Haynes couldn't have done any better than a year ago. Maybe Mike Shanahan does, but that was not to say it was a perfect storm, even though it was. I guess there's just like to think that what you did a year ago is replicable to that standard. Like, yeah, you could win a national championship. You're going to lose a regular season game.
No, I'm 100% with you. Like I do think like just a natural pullback from what we saw last year. Like everything did break right last year. You think like Fernando was completely healthy the entire season. Both of those backs were completely healthy the entire season. Um, my concern is that I think that Josh Hoover is going to be able to do it. Like I don't he's not Fernando, don't get me wrong, but I think he's going to be able to do enough in this passing offense, especially with the weapons that they have with Marsh and Becker. Like I think he's going to be able to do enough to keep them consistent and probably get them to a 10, 11, and 2 situation, like make it to the Big Ten. I have them as my Big Ten runner up. And so making it to the Big Ten championship game and losing to Ohio State. But I do think that what really worries me about Indiana is Fernando got all the headlines last year. I think this run game takes a step back. And so much of what Indiana set up with Fernando last year, and so much of what they're going to try to set up with Josh Hoover was play action oriented, RPO oriented. And if you don't have an effective run game, that becomes a lot harder to do. And you lost your two backs from last year, and I just worry that that's kind of going to be a step back from last year. And I think that really disrupts what Shanahan's going to want to do on that offensive side of the ball.
And Hoover, he'll throw some picks,
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
not having the really strong running game, that'll be problematic. I mean, there's some teams out there like where Georgia, like they're just going to be able to do whatever the hell they want on the ground. I'm trying to think.
Right.
I think Oregon's got a pretty strong
Mhm.
running game too as well. I feel like they're probably who's the next team up for you that we want to talk about? Is it
5 was
Oregon?
Georgia and 6 was Indiana. So I think you need to go with is it your 5 or your 6 that you have?
I'm next up for me is seven.
Oh, okay. Next up for me is 7 as well, where I have Oregon.
Same.
Okay,
Okay.
6. So we get to talk about the Ducks here. Um, they're soft, man. And until proven otherwise, they're still soft.
Yeah.
And I know that that is, again, simplistic, but I don't really care. Like, until you prove to me that programmatically you don't have a culture problem in terms of being soft, and like I've said this before, I don't think this necessarily stems from Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning knows how to be a hard ass. Like, that's not what I'm worried about here. But like, in terms of the results on the field, in terms of the biggest games, we don't see Oregon in the playoff, even when they won games last year. Like Oregon in the playoff is a different team than they are in the regular season. And that just seems to be you see it too many times, it becomes a pattern, and you have to follow the pattern.
They're gonna have they may have the most talented team in the Big Ten. I'm not gonna deny that at all, but it comes ultimately down for me. It's coordinator attrition. That's going to be
Hmm.
problematic. Losing Will Stein to Kentucky, losing Tosh Lupoi to Cal, that ain't great. And even though you do promote two guys from within that you have a lot of respect for, with Drew Maringer on offense and Chris Hampton on defense, that's going to matter because Dan Lanning is not quite there yet. He's
Hmm.
not on the Kirby Day Sig level where it's
No.
like, I I will make an impact in this game to win. Lanning can. He doesn't always do that.
No, 100%. I mean, if you want to hear our like extended thoughts on Landing, go back a couple about a month ago when we ranked coaches, and like I think we unpacked Landing very, very well in that one.
We sure did. So who we got? Who are we talking about next? Who do you got at eight?
At eight's a fun one because I have them at 8 because I believe in their floor. I don't believe in their ceiling, and that's Texas A&M.
And I have them at 8 as well.
Yeah, and like they feel like a perfect 8 seed, don't they?
Yeah.
And my biggest concern, like I do agree largely with your point that you made several times this offseason that Marcel Reed and this offense will benefit from Colin Clyde not calling plays. But I still think Marcel Reed is the type of quarterback that keeps you from winning a national championship. He is still he's a good player, he's a dynamic player, but he's also a very unique player. And the things that make him good and dynamic, his speed, the way he, plays on the fly and improvises, that's what makes him a good player. But I also think that a lot of that like hinders him. Like he doesn't take layups. He doesn't hit the layups, I should say, that he should be hitting. And that includes layups that could result in big plays. I brought this point up, but watching Casey Concepcion's film from last year was one of the most infuriating things I've ever seen because Texas A&M should have scored 45 a game with the way Casey Concepcion was running down the field wide open, and Marcel Reed just missed him so many times. And like that's been a problem since he got to A&M, since he started getting reps for this team. And I just don't. It doesn't seem like it's a Colin Klein problem. It seems like it's a Marcel Reed problem, which worries me.
That's probably the biggest one here. Just throw something out there a little bit different. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're both of the belief that the offense is going to be a little bit more dynamic with Holman Wiggins calling the shots as opposed to Colin Klein. There's something about Mike Elko, and I'm a big Mike Elko fan, but there's something with him that just snags every time.
Hmm.
And I'm of the belief that there's only two types of head coaches that can win national championships: CEO type, or you're a defensive minded guy who just recruits. And he's clearly the latter,
Hmm.
where basically I just have more dudes than you, and we just go and we blow stuff up, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Right.
But there is going to come a point where I don't necessarily think he disrespects offense because that's not true at all. But I don't necessarily think that he can kind of go into the semicircle and provide some level of insight of how they're going to get it in, like fourth and fourth and goal to go from the 5, and you got to win it here. I don't think he's going to be able to improvise. Like some of the defensive coaches like could do this. I just don't
Hmm.
think he has it in him yet.
No, I think that's a very good point. And like furthering that point, like we've not seen a lot of Elko in these postseason situations. We saw, a very brief sampling of that. And so like whatever happens next, like I think is going to be hopefully a growing experience for him because we both like Mac Elko, but like he's very green in this scenario.
Yeah, like I would trust like in that situation, like Kirby and Lanning would figure something out.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think who else is another high-end defensive coach, might a coach that would do that. Coach O wouldn't do that, but that's that's it. Uh,
Coach O is not exactly what I would call a sound defensive game plan guy. He's more of a
uh,
get way better dudes than you
oh,
have.
I think Whittingham would figure it out.
Oh, 100%.
There
I
you go.
agree with that.
That's what I was like looking for, and I found it. Matt Campbell would probably figure it out too.
100%. I mean, it'd be boring, but he figured it out.
Yeah, it would be he'd run the option.
That's right.
All right, who's next up? Who do you got at 9?
At nine's where I've got Texas Tech. My projected Big 12 champion here. I think that I mean I hate keep going back to the quarterback here, but I think you got to go with Will Hammond. And honestly, it's more indicative of the entirety of the offense as a whole. Like your hope coming into this year was that Brennan Sorsby was going to be enough of a difference maker to elevate the offense to degrees that it just couldn't last year with Baron Morton Salt behind under center. And well, I should say in shotgun, but at quarterback. Regardless, I do think that like you're not solving this problem. I actually think Will Hammond's a better player than Baron Morton, but I don't think he's a difference maker necessarily. And we're not even sure how healthy he's going to be come week 1. So when you factor all this in, like I think Texas Tech's defense is still going to be very good. You got a bunch of dudes on that side of the ball. Do think it takes a step back for sure, but with the offense probably being the same or just marginally better, like I don't think you're making enough of a difference from what we saw last year, where you were very clearly outmatched when you got up against the highest level of competition.
So I don't have Texas Tech, and I have them as my fourth team out, but they're my Big 12 runner up. So like
Okay.
we're right kind of there. Yeah, it does come back to quarterback play. I think ultimately it's again, you got shaking babies, kissing hands with Joey McGuire. You have an absolute rock star as your defensive coordinator. Sheil Wood is going to be a head coach next year. I don't know where that's going to be, but he's going to be a head coach somewhere in the Power Four. Defensive line's fantastic. He's ready for this. You've got Mac Leftwich back for another year. You replace what Zach Kittley, who I think is at FAU,
Mhm.
who's still in his mid-30s trying to figure this out.
Are we all?
I do think you'll have some sort of growth. There will be some level of dynamism with Will Hammond because he can run a little bit, but like the fact there's so many concerns like, okay, is the head coach going to impact the offense? He's more of a linebackers coach and recruiter. A new offensive coordinator who's kind of much maligned a year ago, and a quarterback that like you tried to replace and he's still here.
No, 100%. I'm fascinated by Texas Tech. I'm excited to watch Texas Tech football just because like I think there's just so many directions the season could go for them.
100%. Now we kind of get down to that territory where like there's a lot of stuff. And number nine for me is USC.
Nice. Okay. I have them at 11. I have them as my last team in.
I respect that. Um, I guess for me with USC is Lincoln Riley like gonna actually like put in the work?
Mhm.
Or is he just gonna, you know, be out of a job like Tony Romo here is?
My God, going to see grandma and grandpa.
The fact he still has one's insane. He's like 46 as a
Oh, he
grandpa.
doesn't. That's the funniest part of it.
No, no. You can take the man out of Wisconsin. You can't take the Wisconsin out of the man, can
No,
you?
sir. Absolutely not.
I was trying to do the math. Like that doesn't math. But
I actually did find out during not to derail this too much, but in the Tony Romo case, that what he got pulled over and arrested for is like $150 fine. He's not going to serve any jail time over this because Wisconsin laws are made for Wisconsinites.
yeah, I saw Dave Portnoy said he's unemployable now.
Okay.
Sure, sure, Jan. I don't know. Like USC, it's Lincoln Riley just has to show that like, he's not going to use, Chat GPT for everything at work. Like
No,
he needs to show that like there have been moments where he can do it. He just doesn't do it. And if you're going to do that, then you don't need to be a power four head coach anymore, brother.
no, and I mean, I'm going to go more like position or somewhat position specific, but it does stem from what you're talking about with Lincoln Riley. I'm worried about this team in the trenches. And I think that's
Yeah.
been kind of the like when we're talking about, Lincoln Riley essentially not eating his vegetables. I think one of the biggest things that you're looking at is a team that hasn't addressed the trenches that you want to. Like we watched Caleb Williams his last year after coming off the Heisman season run for his life for an entire season and like waste the, potential that he had in that scenario. Jaden Mayava did a good job handling pressure. And I do think that one of the reasons we're seeing USC make these leaps forward is they have addressed these positions. They are getting better there. But if we're talking about winning a national championship, I'm not sure you're on that level yet because when I look at like USC's offensive line, just for example, and I think about, just doing a thought exercise of, okay, let's say you get into a semifinal or a national championship game against the Texas, against an Ohio State. Is your offensive line really going to hold up in those matchups? And I'm not incredibly convinced that would be the case.
Also, I'm kind of wondering if the Gary Patterson defense takes right away. That's a lot.
If Gary Patterson takes is honestly probably a better way to say that.
I don't know, man. Okay, who do you got at 10?
At 10th where I've got LSU. I think the issues are self-explanatory. This team could go 5-7. Like that's what's like you're what if I wanted to define it, I would say the circus. The circus that
Yes.
is going here. If you look talent-wise, LSU is clearly one of the most talented teams in the country, but they are mostly transfers. They're all coming in, and they're coming in with a ringleader as their head coach in Lane Kiffin. And we know Lane Kiffin's accomplished. We know what he's able to do. We know what his staff is able to do and what they were able to do with Ole Miss last year. But having said all of that, you're bringing all these pieces together, and my God, it could work and it could work beautifully. But it could also just completely combust. And even if they don't go 5-7, I'm not ruling out the possibility that it combust and like when the pressure gets the highest, which would be the college football playoff.
I don't have LSU in because they
Probably
gotta
all the
win.
reasons I just said.
Yeah, you gotta play Clemson and Ole Miss very early. That's you could be out of that pretty quickly if it doesn't take.
Or you could get Dabo fired for
That is very true. But you're absolutely right. Like it is a circus because you've got what Arthur Fleck from the Joker as head coach.
That's right.
Who just brought in his recruiting ace, the creature from the the creature from the Black Lagoon. I can't talk. Better known as Hexus from Fern Gully.
That's right.
Coach O crawling out of Lake Pontchartrain, and then you got a clavicular playing quarterback for you.
Right. He's just mogging everybody.
He went to France, and he's like, "I'm awesome," and the girl's like, "No, you're not."
Incorrect. Sorry.
That's what I'm gonna call Sam Levitt now, clavicular dude.
I like it. I love it. I'm all the way here for it.
I'm all in, dude. Yeah, just the circus. I don't have LSU in there, but yeah, I'm right kind of there with you. But the team I kind of got in there at 10. I can't quit them. That'd be Alabama, which I know you don't have anywhere on here.
No,
So
sir.
many reasons, so many reasons for that. If I had to say anything, what it specifically is, I just kind of I'm starting to kind of turn again on Kalen DeBoer a little bit too, because
Mhm.
it's like that's where it all kind of begins and unravels. I think Russell or Mac, whoever wins the starting job, is going to play well. They're going to run the ball better because they have to be. Cousin Ryan Coleman Williams is going to be fine. Offensive line is going to be kind of problematic. Secondary is going to be really good.
Mhm.
But Kalen DeBoer, it's at some point like he'll win all the games that like you don't expect him to. Like he's
Mhm.
going to beat Georgia, but then
Right.
he's going to lose to like Mississippi State. Like that's very much in play here.
No, and yeah, I mean, it's a Kalen DeBoer problem for me. I just think that culturally Alabama has lost its way. It's the puppy that lost its way. That's Alabama under Kalen DeBoer.
And there's people in Huntsville eating glue. And this is false.
That's right. Year 11, I don't think has been mentioned, correct?
No, that'd be a BYU for me, my
That's
Big
what I
12
figured.
champion.
That's my first team
Um,
out.
love that. Try to go a little bit different here. I wonder what it's going to be like when the spotlight is the brightest on Kalani Sitake.
Hmm.
That's my big concern because I think Bachmeier doesn't care. I don't think LJ Martin cares. I don't think anybody on that team cares. Satake will get like he almost got poached by Penn State. They had to basically almost bankrupt Crumble Cookies to make this happen. Uh, Dirty sodas are going to be flying left and right. We'll see what happens with Swig. Um, is Satake kind of ready for like a higher profile thing? Because there's a lot of people out there thinking like, okay, BYU is not just some G5 program moving up. Like they're a team that could maybe win a playoff game.
No, and I'm right. Like Sataki's a really good call, and like that's definitely a concern of mine. I also just think that when you look at BYU, I just wonder if they have an extra gear because we kind of
Yeah,
saw last year that they didn't. And like I don't know how much that's necessarily going to change. Like I know like I think Bachmeier does take a slight step forward, but like he is only going to be a true sophomore. So like I'm not expecting him to be like God mode or anything of that nature. You know what I mean? And so like the more I look at this, I just wonder like the way I have it projected currently, I think that BYU and Texas Tech split, but Texas Tech wins the important one in Arlington.
I could feel that. Barrett Bachmeier's like Mountain West Gunner Stockton.
He really is. He really is.
Yeah, I know. They're probably pen pals.
I mean, they'd be best friends for sure.
Absolutely. They go fishing, you never see them again, man.
Oh,
And,
that's
and
good.
now we're on to our G6 winner, I believe.
Yeah, I still have Boise State just
As
by
do I.
default.
As
Yeah.
as do I. Pac-12 is gonna have a lot of really good teams here. Again, I know you probably have your concerns about Spencer Danielson. Mine's about Maddox Madsen. I think this is the year he's got to really separate and elevate because there's going to be teams in the new Pac-12 that are going to be good. Washington State, I don't think they're going to go away.
Mhm.
Fresno's always a thorn in people's sides. Maybe Colorado State moves forward. I'm blanking. San Diego State, that's another one. They
Yeah.
got a lot. Not Texas State. That's not. I'm not big on them.
No, that's Mountain West certified right there. Um, but no, I look at Boise State and like yes, I do have concerns about Spencer Danielson, but it really Maddox Madsen on you. Like I or with you. Like I just I expected a lot from him last year, and I was quite disappointed with what I saw. And last year was also a year where there was not necessarily pressure per se, but it was like the onus was being put on him, like this is your team now, and he didn't exactly take the ball and run with it, in my opinion. Why would I be convinced that he's going to be able to do that again? Or why would I be convinced that's going to change? Like I just don't I haven't seen like the evidence that says that's going to. And so that does worry me. And like to that point, like we'll dive more into the G6 when we get there, but like the G6 is as much of a crapshoot as it's ever been. I don't think there's like a clear G6 front runner this year.
No, there's teams like UNLV in New Mexico, and yeah, I'm
Hmm.
trying to think who's going to be really good. Tulane. I don't know. I can't. I have no feel for Tulane right now,
I don't
or
like the
or
coaching
or
hire, but there's still two lanes, so like maybe
Memphis, and then I'm trying to think who else out of the American will probably be good.
JMU, not in the American, but like
JMU.
JMU will probably be there again.
Yeah, Navy will probably be pretty
Mhm.
good. And then you got maybe CUSA will give us something.
God only knows. God only
Yeah,
knows.
only God knows. But that was a lot of fun. We did that. We got through that, and
Mhm.
you know, you told me once, man. You know, dude, mimes don't talk. They do when they're off duty.
That's right.
Let's do some satin kimono fittings and a 4 for 4. Our
Mhm.
early contenders for each Power Four league satin kimonos. Probably will be the same one for the SEC and the Big Ten because we're doing that one here pretty quickly, but that's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right, who is getting fitted for a satin kimono there in the ACC for you? And again, this is the anti-definitely maybe the Paul Finch, the team that tries to entice Janine and she doesn't show up until later.
Yeah, and can't take a dump in a public place either. And that's Dave Doran and the NC State Wolfpack for me. I think
Yeah.
you might have had them earlier as a definitely maybe team. I'm kind of going the other way with the Wolfpack, and not because like it's the NC State thing that when you start believing in them, they're gonna, fall on their face, but more so, I'm really concerned about this offensive line. Like you lost Jacarius Peak, which is obviously like your star of that offensive line. And it wasn't a very good offensive line with Peak in the mix last year, and now you're losing the best part of it. And I think CJ Bailey's a really good player. I don't think it's necessarily going to matter enough because I've talked about it before. I think the ACC has like a very like a clear number one in Miami, and then a lot of question marks thereafter. And that's why there's a lot of expectations being put on Miami this year in that conference. But I do think that NC State just seems like a team. They honestly remind me a little bit of last year's South Carolina. And like I was on the other side of South Carolina, obviously going into last year, I had them as a projected playoff team, which was a huge miss by yours truly. But I did like they remind me a little bit of that, and just like you have a player who is enticing in CJ Bailey, you have a coach who has shown some things. You're building off a year that was a little bit better than you expected last year, and I feel like it's just natural, like based on their roster talent, they're going to pull back a little bit.
I don't have North Carolina State here. That's a really good one. The two that I have to prevent overlap, I've got Virginia Tech and Louisville.
I like the Virginia Tech call a lot.
I don't, James Franklin wasn't good a year ago. He brought over a lot of guys from Penn State that weren't good a year ago.
Mhm.
And you're thinking like, oh, this is a big hype machine. Oh, we're going to be able to like rise to the occasion of Miami, SMU, Clemson, God, even Duke or Louisville, however you want to say this. Virginia Tech was in an awful spot. Oh, and then you also retained Brent Pry, which is basically saying, you know what? Let's cut my tumor up and put it into guacamole and eat it. Let's do that. It's not good. I mean, I hope that doesn't get me canceled, but like I'm sitting here, and then also you're kind of going with Ethan Grickenmeyer, who I think is just literally a dude. Like there's nothing,
Oh, that's a jag if there's ever been a jag, brother.
this is like, if Sean Clifford was with Sean Clifford and there's Sean Clifford's had another kid, it would be Ethan Grickenmeyer. Just
That's
this
right.
this team's gonna win like go like 7-5. They're not sniffing the playoff, dude.
I'm very much in that Georgia Tech or in that Virginia Tech camp with you. Like Penn State was awful last year, and like this roster is very reminiscent of last year's Penn State.
And then Louisville, I'm kind of going out there on a limb with this. Like, I don't think that they have that gear that SMU can get to, or God, even Clemson could get to be honest with you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe I'm more on the Clemson beat, but like Clemson's got some dudes. Clemson's got some really good coaches. We know that Jeff Brom knows offense, and we know Lincoln Kienholz is kind of a guy. I don't think they're going to play a lick of defense this year.
Mhm.
And if you can't play any defense in the ACC, that allows teams like Cal to come back on you,
Mhm.
or NC State to come back on you, or Virginia to come back on you. If you can't be trusted in that situation. Maybe they'll get to Charlotte, but if they lose, they're not going to get to the playoff.
No, I like that one as well. I want to believe in Louisville because I do believe in Braum more than
Mhm.
anything, but like I don't think believing in a coach is enough reason to like be all the way in on a team.
And I think that's fair. And let's move on to the Big Ten.
I'm going with Washington, which actually surprised
Yeah.
me as I was like diving into this. I hate to do it to cousin Demond out there because I do think he's a very talented player. How quickly we forget how like messy Washington's offseason was with Demond Williams specifically. Like he was basically out the door, and then they were like, no, you're not leaving. And I just don't see that being a really healthy locker room ecosystem to deal with throughout this entire season. I do think Jed Fish is a good coach, but like this is also a defense that was truly atrocious last year. And like even if you take a step forward, like I just don't see you making enough headway in what the Big Ten is specifically, because I do think the like upper middle class of the Big Ten is quite solid. And so like if you're talking about that, like I don't think Washington's going to be better than Michigan. I don't think Washington's necessarily going to be better than Penn State with Matt Campbell kind of leveling the water there. Like I have a hard time like figuring out who Washington would make a leap for, and it feels like they're being projected to be a team that does make a leap over those other foes.
I do have Washington as one of my two. You bring up a great point. That locker room may not be great.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Like that's like
you
not been
also,
talked about in months, and like I'm like I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, like worrying about this.
and then Jed Fish is literally on the other side of the country from where he wants to be in
Mhm.
Gainesville, Florida. He wanted to get that job so badly, but like they didn't want to give it to him. They felt maybe he was too. There's something about his personality that just doesn't quite seem steady enough, or
Mhm.
he doesn't seem like a schmoozer or panderer like John Summerall is starting to become.
Yeah.
So, but then again, neither was Urban Meyer or Steve Spurrier, which maybe you should have hired him instead. Maybe we'll be looking back on this in 3 years, and be like they should have hired Jed Fish, and then
No.
now he's the head coach at like Oklahoma State with all sorts of God money.
Yeah, just doing ridiculous things in the spirit of Mike Gundy.
I know, man. From when he starts pulling a mullet out there too. But yeah, that's a great point with Washington. The other one I have is Penn State.
Okay. And I think it makes sense.
There's like you're bringing a lot of Iowa State guys here, and that'll probably cut through and that'll be steady. But I kind of wonder there are going to be growing pains in
Mhm.
year one under Matt Campbell. They have a navigable schedule, and I think that like that's great. But I feel like if you start thinking about that for even 1 nanosecond in state college, you're going to lose a game. Like you can't think that it's going to be easy. You have to be all about this. And if you take your foot off the gas pedal for 1 second, it's like the dog that's going to poo in your house. It's like he's going to do it if you're not looking there. I'll touch on that later. But yes.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's kind of funny that you paired Washington and Penn State together because I think like they're both fit for a satin kimono, but for like the complete opposite reasons. I think Washington is going to be wildly like volatile in terms of what they're capable of week to week. Whereas I think Penn State's going to be very level. It's where that level actually like falls. And like I think it's probably 8-4 or seven and
Yeah.
five more than it is 9-3.
I think that's fair. I can't wait to talk about the Big 12 with you. I love the ones I got for this one. This is going to be great.
Uh I hate to do it to our short king, but I got Arizona here.
Oh man.
Look, I think last year they might have just caught some people sleeping. I think they might have taken advantage of a Big 12 that kind of sucked. And I do think like the middle belly of the Big 12 is going to be a lot better this year. Like Oklahoma State's not going to be a doormat. I think that Kansas is probably going to have a little dead cat bounce with Jalen Daniels not being there. Iowa State's going to be ass, so that's good. But like Baylor, in theory, should be a more formidable opponent. It seems like Sonny Dykes is pretty high on what TCU is capable of. And then you have the top of the conference with Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah. Like, I just don't think Arizona is going to be able to kind of crack that. Oh, and Arizona State, excuse me. I don't want to forget the Sun
Right.
Devils out there either. And like, I just like Arizona's kind of being mentioned in that top tier with those top four teams. And I wonder if that's actually the case.
That makes sense. I did not have Arizona there. I think that they're gonna win like 8 games. I don't know if they're gonna win 10.
See, I just have this creeping suspicion that they might be a 6-6 team.
Yeah.
Like, that brings me no joy. I love Noah Fafita. We know this.
And I'm gonna crunch up a Red Bull here. First team I got the year is the Houston Cougars, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not to say Willie Fritz is overstated as a head coach, but maybe he is a little bit. And I think more importantly, Connor Wegman is just Koplovsky at quarterback. He
That's what
just
I
I
was
don't
gonna say. Is like I think Connor Wegman is overblown.
And I don't think we've talked ad nauseum like Houston's a sleeping giant because you can get all that Tillman Fertitta money in there. How many championships have the Rockets won? How much outside of the basketball program at U of H with Kelvin Sampson, who's phenomenal? Like
Yeah, he's one of the best basketball coaches of all time.
I don't necessarily know like if Houston's really got enough dudes there. Maybe the next head coach that they get because Willie Fritz is in his mid 60s. Like once they get the next guy there to kind of clear some of the Daniel Holgorsen nonsense out of there, they'll be really good. I think right now this team's gonna be good, but if they make the playoff as like the 10 seed, they're gonna lose like 53-3.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad if they make the playoff, which I don't really foresee. But
No, this next team might. That's the Utah Utes.
okay, that's spicy.
I want to believe in Devin Dampier again, the Lenore Sellers of the Mountain West. Um,
You ain't wrong.
I think the karmic implications of kicking Kyle Whittingham to the curb is going to come back in a really bad way. Morgan Scalley's, anytime you got this coaching waiting, it doesn't work out.
Mhm.
And then you're also, I'm blanking on my last like bit of it. It's like, okay, you got coaching attrition. You move him out there, Dampier. Oh, then your AD is insane. Like
That doesn't help
it
matters for
doesn't help at
sure.
all. Like I feel like this is kind of going to be one of those things where like they're going to try to talk a big game, and then BYU is just going to punch them in the mouth in Holy War. It doesn't matter where that game is played. It's going to knock like six teeth out and just move on.
Yeah, like I mean, because of Devin Dampier alone, a guy who I truly can't quit. Like I remember like watching him at New Mexico was one of the funnest joys of my like college football watching live because he was the only player who deserved to be on the field out there, and it was incredible. But like I don't know. I don't think Utah's like that good. They're on. If you remove Devin Dampier from this equation and put like a replacement level college court, to your point, if you put Grickenmeyer at Utah, we're not talking about them as a potential Big 12 champion. We're just
No,
not. And like Devin Dampier is a difference maker, but like that roster is not particularly like inspiring.
no, not at all. And my SEC ones are mean. I don't know how you feel. What do you got for that league?
I'm trying to reverse jinx this. I'm going to go with South Carolina. Just because I
Love it.
want good things for Lenora Sellers and whatever I want to happen or whatever I predict will happen is what the opposite tends to happen. So, but I mean, we saw this last year and Shane Beamer kind of found some scapegoats from what it looked like last year. You change out your coordinators and you try to get this offense back on track. You bring in some transfers to try to help the offensive line. I do kind of wonder if maybe like you just kind of don't have the dudes outside of Lenore Sellers on like even if the offensive line is approved, do you have like the skill position talent top to bottom? Because like you have Nick Harbor and then who else is really scaring you on that roster? On the defensive side of the ball, you have Dylan Stewart, but who's like really standing out outside of that on that side of the ball? Like I just wonder if South Carolina is a team that has star power and then doesn't have the depth to actually accomplish anything that they like that you would think that star power would lead them to be able to do.
The SEC version of the LA Angels with Trout and Ohtani, brother.
Brother, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Also, shout out to Alex Anthopoulos not doing anything.
My God, did he wake up today?
I don't know, man. How do you not get Casey Mize? Like, like it's gonna be great not having baseball next year.
Yeah, right. Can't wait.
Gonna get really into MLS actually right now. I have no problem. I'll probably just be really good significant others. That's what we're gonna do.
No, I'm gonna get really into the KBO and be the opposite of a good husband.
That would be worse.
Yeah.
So my two were actually playoff for the SEC or playoff teams a year ago. I've got Ole Miss and Oklahoma.
Ooh, okay, nice.
Ole Miss might be the LA Angels of the SEC.
You're you're not wrong. That's a comp we're gonna have to explore.
Yeah. Love me some Trinidad Chambliss. Love me some Quan Lacey. I want to believe that Pete Golding is good. You get the offensive coordinator from ECU. I'm blanking on his name, and because you got to replace Charlie Weiss Jr. It's God, what is it? Here we go.
John David Baker.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was like a John something, but outside of that, I was gonna blank on it. So
We're gonna talk about a JD on this program here
that's
very shortly.
right.
Maybe not that one. Ole Miss, I don't see it with them at all. I don't see it with them at all. And then Oklahoma, I have some major concerns about John Mateer, and I have some massive concerns about Ben Arbuckle. I don't think that this translates. I think Mateer is just like, anytime there's a guy out there who's like lifting weights, trying to act all great at quarterback, like what's that do? You end up throwing the ball 60 miles an hour like Colin Kaepernick and nobody can catch it. Like what's that? And that's how you end up getting benched, and that's what ultimately leads us to everything that happened with that. Sorry.
No, you're fine, dude. I mean, Joe Milton throws the ball pretty hard, and he's not very good. So,
No.
and we've got a lot of points of example of that.
Yeah, you can't hit this laptop right.
I did see a funny John Mateer tweet the other day. It was him throwing with his shirt off, and someone said, "Oh, the piss man coming for John Mateer," and I was like, "Yeah, buddy."
We've been toying with Dakota Gregory. We're saying he's never broken pinky, so his nickname is Pinky Mateer, and he hates it. Making an Oklahoman mad is not. They don't enjoy that at all.
But it's also quite easy.
Oh God, that was great. And dude, if you get the nacho stick together, that's one nacho. Under further review, why we love Saving Silverman so much, even though it definitely maybe might be a bad movie.
Oh, it's for sure a bad movie.
Yeah.
But like, I'm gonna start with like kind of a macro point before we start getting into the movie itself. But like, I think one of the reasons, especially like in the year of our Lord 2026, why we like watch Saving Silverman and like still enjoy ourselves, isn't just like nostalgia for like seeing that movie when we were younger. I think it's nostalgia for this type of movie. This type of movie does not exist
No.
anymore. And in this time period, there were a billion of them. You think about like Orange County, which I think is like a spiritual cousin to this movie because of the
Yes.
Jack Black connection. But like, they don't make these types of movies anymore. And like, to that point, you're not going to find many comedies these days where you just turn your brain off and like enjoy it for what it is. Like, it's not a quality film. It's not like highbrow comedy, but it's still funny. And like that's like some movies need to be made like that.
Yeah, if you were a middle schooler in high school in the 2000s, you definitely watched this any sort of a Viacom property, whether that would be Comedy Central, VH1, MTV, probably
Well,
like yeah,
all the
right.
above, you know?
Yeah, it was one of those movies where like you know you get out of the shower, you still your towel, and you don't even change, just watch this
Yeah,
movie.
you're just sitting down. You're set for the next hour and a half.
So this movie was my introduction to Arlie Ermy, Steve Zahn, and honestly, Neil Diamond. What a triumph, right?
That's right. That's a
Because
band in and of
because
itself.
I mean, I was too young to watch like Full Metal Jacket, so I'm not watching that. Like Miss Joe wouldn't have approved that movie.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Oh man, start talk about Steve Zahn, dude. Like, I feel like he's in this type of movie or in this type of role, like he's perfect. Like he's the acting version of a role player to like the umpteenth degree.
Yes. He was in. Oh yeah, he's in Righteous Gemstones, and he
Oh,
plays a
I've
total.
started Righteous Gemstones. I'm like
Oh, you
halfway through
have.
season one. I'm halfway through
Yes.
season one.
God, isn't it? It's we'll
It's
do.
phenomenal. And actually,
It's
now that I say that, I might have to watch an episode tonight because yeah, I need to get back on the horse.
God. Empowering people. I always put Pontius in the top five just because he's such a turd.
Baby Billy's already like number one with a bullet, dude.
Well, yeah, like Uncle Baby Billy's gonna be number one, just like Roman Roy is gonna be number one in succession, whatever you do.
Right.
God, Steve Zahn's perfect. Let's see what else I got here. When Wayne and JD attacked the replacement friends at whatever gathering they're at, that was amazing. I don't know what it was. It was like an engagement party or like a wake or something, but either way, they're fighting there. They weren't even invited.
That's right. I do want to call out the right before the end credits play when the I guess it's a reverend or the officiant or whatever like
Yeah.
announces everyone as married or whatever. Um
Yeah.
speaking of this specific type of dumb comedy that's kind of poorly made, if we're being honest, there's just a black background. There's nothing like there's no background or anything happening. They're just in front of like a blank screen, which hell yeah. I don't know why. It cracks me up every single time.
I thought you were talking about Man and Man. That's okay.
Oh, Man and Man also gets me for sure.
At the beginning when they get the guy to replace Darren on keys when they're singing Cherry Cherry,
Hmm.
that gets me every time.
I also did some research. Do you know what this Dennis Dugan is the guy that directed it? Do you know everything that he directed? He had a hell of a career.
I have heard of him. I don't know what he's directed.
So his first movie ever was Problem Child, which I don't know if you've ever seen that, but
Yes,
phenomenal film.
Junior.
Yeah, phenomenal film. Also the director of Happy Gilmore, Big Daddy, The Benchwarmers. Hey, we went on an Adam Sandler run here. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Grown Ups, and just go with it.
Yeah.
Like what a career. Like are any of the like outside of like Happy Gilmore and Big Daddy, and in our opinion, Saving Silverman, like are any of these movies like world class? Absolutely not. But did this dude probably make like $20 million? Probably. Yeah.
Per flick, yes.
Yeah.
Dude is thriving. And um who wasn't thriving? Darren Silverman's, because saying he had to go to counseling every day, mandated by Judith with Judith.
Like on the on the scale of like all time like awful movie girlfriends, like where does Judith rank? Like is she like top five?
Um, I would say so. I think the worst one is Dr. Stu Price's girlfriend in The Hangover.
It's either her or the chick from Gone Girl. One of
Yeah,
the two.
that's a pretty tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she also made Darren get butt implants and changed his last name to Fessfegler.
That's right.
I thought his ass looked at her. These one-liners just get me every time.
Like to that point, like I think that's the type of like comedy that doesn't really exist anymore. Like
No.
we don't have one-liner comedy anymore. Like when's the last comedy that's like quotable that's actually come out? Like there have been good comedies, don't get me wrong, that have come out in the past like decade. Not a lot, but a few. But like I wouldn't call any of them quotable. You're not quoting them like you would something dumb like this, something like back in the day, like Can't Hardly Wait or something like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're not like we don't have those movies anymore. It sucks.
No. And you'll have a leading lady or almost leading lady like Sandy Perkis, who's a member of the circus, and she had that dog boy brother.
That's right.
It's, it's so dumb. The convent's got a great gym. Uh,
Oh my God. Also want to shout out Darren who ran 48 kilometers, 30 miles.
God, I love that. Um, Jason Biggs is having a time right now.
Jason Biggs has been having it. I will say one thing rewatching Saving Silverman that did come to mind is I understand why the Jason Biggs leading man thing didn't really turn out. They tried, but he's just not that guy.
They were trying to make a Paul Feinbaum movie, and he was going to play the equivalent of Paul Feinbaum.
Christ, that would have been really bad.
That's why it didn't happen. Um, to be this obsessed with Neil Diamond, it's just the perfect rock star to be in this movie.
Oh
It's
my
like
God, yeah.
it's like what was that one movie we saw with the guys like I'm friends with Tom Skerritt from Top Gun.
Oh, that's Ted.
Yeah.
That's for sure, Ted. And like it's exactly that level, dude. Like Neil Diamond is that level of musician.
There's two people we have to talk about with this movie. If there's anybody else that we need to talk about, you go right ahead and we're gonna touch on these two very important people who got married later.
Please go ahead.
This movie is all about Coach Norton and JD McNugent, dude.
100% it is. I mean, very clearly like the two most talented people in this movie, which makes it
Yes.
even better because like that's why those scenes steal the movie and like their performances steal the movie is like it feels like they're in a different film entirely and frankly they should have been. I needed a spinoff yesterday. What is married life for man and man?
Stanford University? No. Subway University. God bless JD McNugent for being the Gen X slacker everybody needs.
Right.
Um, I mean, the dude didn't use like bathrooms inside because he got a swirly in high school, so he prefers to, use a porta potty inside, but but not outside where Coach Norton went in the yard.
That's right. It's where you play croquet.
And then just Coach Norton just caring this much about a former third string quarterback, a male cheerleader, and the Wharton War Eagle or Warbird. If you can think it, you can do it.
See, I feel like that's true to life though. It's never like the star player that like the coaches like want to come back and see them. It's the dude who like rode the bench the entire time that they just love.
Help me, Coach Son.
That's right.
Making you wear dresses. how did you unalive her? We ate her.
We hate her.
Uh, the sky's crying because we don't have Arlie or me around us anymore here in Atlanta. So that's sad.
R.I.P. man. What a
Yeah,
guy.
we'll pour one out. Apparently, the whole reason he became an actor is because he was the drill sergeant they brought in for Full Metal Jacket how to do it. Nobody else could do it with a straight face, so they just kept him in there.
He's like, I do this in my free time with a straight face. Thanks for asking.
He throws a down marker and impales a ref. He's in prison. He gets out.
This movie's so stupid, but it's so
It's
good.
and let's be honest, man. Neil, I want to party with you. I want to party with you. Um, jailing with Neil Diamond.
Whose discography I don't think either of us are particularly familiar with.
Yeah, I had a oh, I just ran for a second.
No, I was gonna say, like, I mean, most people know Sweet Caroline. Most people have heard Forever in Blue Jeans and like know that's a song. If I asked most people, the artists that know what it is, they probably wouldn't be able to tell me Neil Diamond. And then like two of his other most famous songs aren't famous because of him in Red Red Wine and you don't bring me flowers.
it's a red wine who we know from like what UB40.
UB40 made it a reggae hit. So for Red Red Wine, I have the North Carolina Tar Heels is a very personal one for me. This song's about needing red, red wine to forget everything. And God knows if I wasn't working on Saturdays and have to do this podcast, I would be having to drink heavily to get through North Carolina football games.
I got a North Carolina thing coming up later, but for me, the two I got a guy who's fat cat and drinking a lot of red wine, not knowing it's going to be in for him. That's Luke Fickle.
True.
He, and then I mean honestly, Tony Romo at this point.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba.
Yeah, that's Manette Signetti, who is Kurt Signetti's wife, because they love him. They love her and him in Bloomington, man. Good times never felt so good.
I did these a long time ago, and I'm trying to remember exactly what I went with. This song, you either love it or you hate it. And this is really how it is. You're a Red Sox fan, so you love it or you might hate it. I don't know.
I don't like playing it when we're losing games at Fenway Park. That's the dumbest thing in the world, but neither here nor there.
That's the people who play for Lane Kiffin
That's
or
right.
work for. And there's a non-zero chance that this is the song that this is Kirby Smart's favorite song when he was closing down the bars in Athens at SAE.
Non-zero chance for sure.
100%, man. All right, song sung blue.
That's Florida for me. Song Sung Blue is a song about, you've been singing the blues, but sometimes you got to look at have a better outlook on life. And I feel like with the reception that John Summerall got when he came to Florida, it felt like a lot of like PTSD from Florida fans more than anything. Like you've been hurt so many times, like you're not recognizing that this is actually a good coach and a good hire. And you might have soured on that a little bit since then to this point with John Summerall showing that does have a lot of hot air to expend. But I do think things are looking up for Florida.
They might be. It won't do me any joy. We'll touch on that later. But a song sung blue, two guys I think are just having a sad time right now. That's Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick.
Fair, very fair.
Deion Sanders' kids are all grown up, and he's got to coach somebody else's kids. And I don't think he really wants to do that anymore. His toes don't work. He doesn't have that many. So there's a wild animal trying to kill him every time he goes out in the field. In
It's a tough,
Colorado,
it's a tough
he has.
scene.
I mean, he's a teetotaler, straight edges in Boulder, Colorado. That just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
now, now that Shador and Travis Hunter are gone, he's looking around like now Boulder seems kind of effed up, like the Tuxedos and Step Brothers.
Yeah, it's just all ketchup and onions and Chapel Hill,
That's
unfortunately.
right.
All right. You don't bring me flowers.
Oh, you know it's Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah.
He ain't bringing no flowers, no sir.
No, sir. And neither are Dabo Swinney or Glenn Schimann for me.
Fair, very fair.
I swapped out Kayla DeBoer for Dabo Swinney.
I mean, but cut from the same cloth.
Yeah. And then Glenn Schimann is just a really if Buster all knew it was Ben Roethlisberger just being sad and
That's
pouty.
right.
Uh,
Oh my God.
It's like nepotism without it being related to anybody. It really sucks.
That's right.
What the hell's that called? I don't know. The corporate world.
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Networking.
Networking.
That's right.
Retainer. All right. Forever in Blue Jays.
Oh, forever in blue jeans. It's Kurt Ferentz and Iowa Hawkeyes, man. Because not only do I just imagine Kurt Ferentz when he's not on the sidelines, just always in a pair of blue jeans, but on top of that, this song's about just being like accepting mediocrity in blue jeans, essentially. And God knows Iowa's gonna be mediocre forever.
I mean, as a guy who wears blue jeans every day, sometimes black jeans, it might as well be me. I'll accept mediocrity. It just finds me sometimes.
No, blue jeans are like rock. This song is a bad message about blue jeans.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna wear corduroy pants like it's the 70s.
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Dad, if you're listening, okay, check this out. My dad told me like once, like, because like my grandfather grew up very farming working class, like if you wore jeans to like school, that meant you were really poor. So they would make sure that like my aunts wore dresses and my dad wore corduroy pants because they weren't cut from that cloth.
That's
This is
wild. That's
like
a wild take.
I mean this is like the 60s,
Yeah.
man.
Even still, I feel like blue jeans should have always been acceptable.
And who no guys forever in blue jeans? My name is Gunner Stockton.
You, you ain't wrong.
Been sitting on that for a week now. And a guy who's really comfortable in Wranglers, Brett Favre.
Oh God.
Uh,
Yes,
and
he
then uh,
is.
and then Cracklin' Rosie. Who do you got for that song?
Oh, brother, that's where I got Lane Kiffin in LSU, baby. He's just crackling it and sipping and having a good time, hitting a hot yoga to sweat it out the next morning.
Since I already did Lane Kiffin, I can't do that one again. Imagine if I just did Lane Kiffin for every song.
We could. You could tie anything to Lane Kiffin.
Pretty much. I mean, it's like he hasn't missed a jail in like weeks, man.
That's right.
He's the Cal Ripken Jr. of jail in.
That's right. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake. So I basically went with like, Cracklin' Rosie or Cacklin' Rosie. So Cacklin' Rosie, there you go. Cracklin, whatever. Oh, I was trying to think what coaches would Rosemary look at and be like, what the hell is this problem?
Okay, who we got?
Um, First guy is a Shane Beamer. It's like, why is this guy ranting and raving on the sidelines? Why is he acting like, the guy that kicked out of the first base player that kicked out of Weezer, the one that's still alive and not the other guy.
And it's a like a missed first down play call or a missed first down block. It's something that was so innocuous.
And also Steve Sarkisian, just that's another guy too, where he's like, "Don't you ever touch me?
Never
Don't
touch
you,
me.
don't you look me in the eye?"
That's right. It's a portal to the soul, and you don't want to see what's in there.
If they were to remake Gangs of New York and he'd play Bill the Butcher.
Yeah, 100%. More believable, honestly.
Uh, Tom Holland, I guess he's in everything now. I guess he plays Amsterdam.
That's right. What a star-studded cast. Sark and Tom Holland.
He didn't know what the Odyssey was. He was in that movie.
That's right.
Tom Holland's first words were because the guy spoils everything. I think he came out of the womb. His first sentence he ever said was, "He was dead the whole time."
That's right.
Uh, all right, let's get out of here with our last one here. I'm in a related field. Really? What is it? Pest and rodent control. How's that related? We both help people. Local scouting report. Oh my God.
We both help people. So I wanted to bring this quote up as part of one of the things I love about Saving Silverman, but I didn't want to ruin this. It's my favorite quote from the movie.
It's so
We
good.
both help people.
I've got three and you got two. I guess I'll start. We're going to talk about animals and then gradually work our way through traveling.
Yes, sir.
So over the last couple of weeks, we've had a squirrel trying to get into our apartment.
Hmm.
About like last year or so, we had to replace our AC window unit in our bedroom. It was leaking everywhere. The whole black wall is gonna have to get replaced because that's how we do things here with the landlord that paints over cockroaches.
Hmm.
It's kind of what we're dealing with. So this we had like the plastic accordion partition for the window unit. this squirrel was chewing on it and chewed on one part of it. And I saw it, like, okay, what's going on? So we put some tape over it.
Mhm.
Then we kind of come back and it kind of made it worse. So we ended up getting like sandpaper and like do not enter, no parking signs. And we found our old license plates, taped it up there because we were dog sitting across a couple neighborhoods over.
Yeah.
That thing chewed through basically all the partition. And if we didn't put the thing in there, there would have been a squirrel in our house.
Right.
And I called my landlord up. I'm like, she's like, "Are there trees over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're all on the adjacent property." And then our worthless engineer was like, "Yeah, we can't do anything about the HOA." I'm like, I watched Pineapple Express. You can sue somebody for the you didn't trim the tree that spills on your monkey grass."
That's right. Yeah. That's the way it works.
So our landlord, one of the people that she works with, like a landlordess, I guess I don't know how the landlord, what, it doesn't matter. The lady we rent from, somebody she works with, is like, oh, he's a handyman. He's like, well, I'm not going to be able there for a couple of days because I got to do two jobs at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and he fixed it. He basically took like some metal thing in front of us and like drywall and patched it in there. And it's going to be great until like we have to replace this unit.
Correct.
Squirrel still shows up every day.
It's like a velociraptor checking the fences.
Like this is a human in squirrel form. Likes to sit on top of the AC and cool off.
Hey, you know what, man? It's been hot enough. I don't blame them.
It's gonna find its way in here. That's absolutely great. And you got some animal stories.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned on this program many times, I have two dogs that fit very two different personalities. Huron, our oldest, is sweet, lovable, kind of mild-mannered for the most part. And then Remus is the problem child. Just a bat out of hell at all times. And I'm sure I don't know the scenario that transpired to make this happen, but I'm sure he didn't help himself at all. Um, the NC State podcast and I were sitting up here in the office because it's one of the few places that we have AC in our house. And we're sitting up here, and all of a sudden we start to get a skunk smell. And there's a skunk, there's a lot of skunks in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Don't know why, but there are. Um, and we'll smell them walking by the house every now and then, but this felt particularly pungent. And so we open the door and it continues to smell pungent, which is not normal. Normally it's coming through like one of the vents in the AC. To your point, the screen part, accordion partition. Um, and that's normally where the smell is emanating from. We walk out into the hallway and we're still smelling it. And Remus is walking up the stairs and he proceeds to just be drooling and about to throw up again out of his mouth. And that's because he got sprayed directly in the face by a skunk.
Oh no.
And what a night it was. We were watching TV to go to bed when this happened. And I had to go outside and close up the doggy door, which I apparently was a little tardy in doing because he got sprayed by a skunk. And let me tell you, man, I'm not one who's like particularly sensitive to odors. Like that's not kind of like I can normally handle myself. Never smelled anything like this. Also, never smelled anything like when I walked downstairs and found out that he had thrown up a few times. And until you've smelled dog vomit mixed with skunk spray, you really not lived or died because I died a little inside when it happened. Um, and for anyone out there, I know the old adage is like tomato juice to get skunk spray smell off. No, the actual remedy that does work quite well after, you got to do it multiple times, but hydrogen peroxide, baking soda, and Dawn. And we're just sitting there scrubbing Remus's snout for about an hour and a half, making sure to get some of it off. He still smelled for like 5 days after the fact, but not as bad, and you could be in the same room with him. So he's doing much better now, and we're being sure to close that doggy door a little bit earlier nowadays.
This was like carrots and throb. Hot, sick ass.
Hot, sick
Dead,
ass. Yes.
dead carcass. God. So next one we were dog sitting while the squirrel's chewing through our AC. And we're dog sitting two greyhounds. We're eventually going to get greyhounds. They're all going to be named after foods that start with P.
Nice.
So like pickle and
Hell yeah.
pastrami,
Persimmon.
persimmon, parsnip, praline, whatever.
Oh, Prelude would be a good one. I like that.
Yeah, we have a lot of dogs like this. We would have named you this or whatever it is.
Hell yeah.
Peanut. It doesn't matter. Pepper. Anyway,
Mm,
we're dog sitting these two greyhounds. They had a third one, and he's no longer with us. Sad. And
R.I.P.
he was the one that was allowed to be on the couch mostly because he went up on the couch and the other was trained not to. So they just let it
Mm,
happen.
fair enough.
So there's the middle one. So the older one now, his name is Ranger, and he's very brooding.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's the younger one named Roscoe, and he's Pickle. He's great. He's like, he's down for whatever. He always brings a zebra in his mouth to hang out with you. Always eats all of his food. He's great. Ranger's got a bad foot. I think he had like a callus or something, so he had to put his booties on. He has
Oh.
he has like walking with it. And he's older, and you have to watch out for him because he'll pee and poo in the house without you
Mm.
paying attention to that. So
Does he do like the booty walk where he just takes like really high steps? Because that's one of my favorite things in the world.
yeah, he'll do stuff like that. And we have to basically like encourage him to come up the stairs. And one time I had to carry him, and she had to carry him too, and that was great. You're talking like an
Oh,
85-pound dog.
it's not easy. Not
No,
easy
it's
at
it's
all.
not. So we sat them twice, and then the second time it thundered, and as I'm trying to get over there without a car, Ubering, I walk in like, what's that smell? I just put it in the powder room.
Ranger can't poo in the powder
Uh,
room.
that Roscoe has his own thing. He likes to go outside, and like they like to go. They all have like there's certain spots they like to go. Yeah, yeah. Roscoe's a big fan of the White Album because why don't we just poo in the road? Just in the middle of the road. He's got a zebra in his mouth, just going in the middle of a road.
Oh my God.
And this is the worst part. So we're like there on a Saturday. It's kind of like a duplex. It's like a house in front, and we're in the one in back.
Hmm.
There's the people that live up front have like two like 4 and 6 year old kids that just wake up at 6:30 in the morning and just scream. Like
Hell
just
yeah.
yeah, very very olive skinned colored kids. Just they're kind of just they could very like they're just they're out there. They're all energy. Like they could have been in that movie where like the fish kids come out like from Italy, like whatever, Luca, whatever it is. That's what they
Yeah.
are. Their dad was outside and he was trying to fix like a bike tire, like
Hmm.
something really dumb. And he had like all of his pieces everywhere. Meanwhile, this is after breakfast time and we got to take the greyhounds out and like trying to avoid like stepping on like a wrench or whatever. Kids out there with like a tape measure trying to measure something. I'm like, we're trying to get these dogs to the bathroom. This isn't great.
Yeah.
And then the younger one just walks out just naked, just naked. Like I'm trying not to get on a list here. Like he was old enough to wipe his ass. Like that was a problem.
Yeah. He's old enough to know to not run out of the house naked.
And I'm like, oh, they're like, where's the mom? Probably just hung over inside or whatever it is. But the worst part was like the dad was like didn't seem to care. Like the kid was out there naked or like the there's tools everywhere. Even though like I actually end up kicking Roscoe to try to around this. And the kids you could just tell like they were not smart kids. They had the dummy eyes.
There's no
Like
intelligence in those eyes for
no,
sure.
they got the Thurman Merman report cards.
Your name's Thurman Merman.
I'm making sandwiches. Yeah, so that was dog sitting, just dealing with all of that. And you got reacquainted with your birth state.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the reasons we're a bit delayed in recording is I went to Virginia to see some family and traveled all around the state. Had a good time. But one of our adventures took us up to see one of my mom's brothers and then one of his daughters and her two kids. So I guess they would be, I don't know, second cousins. I think that's how relations work. It's my cousin's children.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a tight-knit family, so they're just cousins in the way we go. One thing about me that I don't know if I've shared, but you could probably figure out, not really like a kid guy. Like I'm just not the NC State podcast and I not really planning on having kids. 5 years into it, not really our bag. And I'm an only child. I don't ever plan on being a fun uncle either. Like I'm just kids aren't really my bag. Um, but kids seem to like me for whatever reason, despite the fact that I don't really vibe with that. And her 4-year-old daughter took a liking to me at a certain point. And honestly, I just want to say shout out to parents out there because, like, again, I'm not a kid guy. I don't really want to be a parent. So, like, it's not really in my, what I'm looking to do with my life. But my God, in like the 2 hours that this child asked me for uppies as many times as she could for me to pick her up and carry her to another room, or pick her up and carry her to go get a toy, or pick her up and go do this, and to do different voices for a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal and things of this nature. Brother, I was exhausted. It's one of the tiredest I've been in a long time. That was 2 hours of that. And like, I can't, like, just shout out to parents because I can't do it. Like, that's exhausting mentally, physically, all of the above.
And did you put Rough Roughs on and did she retain any of it?
She's actually a very smart 4-year-old.
That's yes.
And it was I that honestly made it even more mentally exhausting because I couldn't just like, if she was a dummy, it would have been a lot easier. I could have just like made stuff up and like been okay with that. But no, she's intelligent, so it hurt.
Kids do things.
That's right, man.
And yeah, anything else, Rich? You got anything else,
No,
Rich?
that's the only thing I wanted to tell was shout out to the parents because could not be me. 2 hours kicked my ass.
And that's about how long it took over multiple days to get a car. We did get a car.
Hell yeah, congrats, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. It means a lot.
Does the car have a name? Have you named it yet?
I'm sure she already has. So, you think I have any choice in that? Absolutely not.
I didn't. I mean, I still wanted to know what the Arizona State podcast had to say.
I don't know. I don't really name things. I just name animals that I live with, I guess.
Very
I don't
fair.
know. My Telecaster's name is Sanchez. That's the only thing I've got.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, so we go up there on like we're trying to coordinate this with me being off work and her being off work. When you work in sports writing and retail, that can be challenging. So
Hmm.
we have to take an Uber up to like Norcross from Virginia Highland, and it's about 30 minutes.
Hmm.
We go up there on a Saturday or Sunday. We get it figured out. We kind of know what we want to look for at a car. We know our price range, but there's like a catch 22 with insurance.
Hmm.
So like we didn't have insurance because we didn't have a car. So why would
Hmm.
we pay for something we don't have? So if you're going to test drive a car without insurance, you need to have a person. The person needs to go with you. But because
Okay.
it's Sunday and it was busy, they couldn't do that.
God. Okay.
So even if I would have called up there to create a binder for the insurance car to test it out, and if we would have switched it over, well, the insurance office isn't open that we use.
Right. Because it's a Sunday.
This is a Sunday. So we come back on a Thursday of last week and we get this car. And the guy that was selling it to us, like he was on vacation, so he gave it to somebody else to do it. So like it was so we go up there. I got the binder set up with State Farm. It took a long ass time to get somebody on the phone with this. Like, but you do renters with us. Like, we're just gonna do this until we move and figure it all out. Our Uber driver on the way up there was watching a movie wearing Hello Kitty sweatpants and not wearing a seatbelt while we're up there. Like she was begging to not get a 5-star review.
I mean, that's like a 50-50 proposition in Atlanta based on my experience.
The selfishness was in main form up there. But we did get a car. We did buy one. We went to first because we also went up there at like test drive at noon, so we're like deliriously hungry. We go right over to Quick Trip and did a bunch of just trash, and then I slept for like 4 hours. I came up.
Hey, quick trip trash in a pinch always does the trick, though.
It absolutely does, man. It absolutely does. Just like 2000's Subway, because this was episode 195 of Fall Start. You can follow 295 of Fall Start. You can follow me, John Buhler, on Twitter, the X at Buhler118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow along with the show at CFB Fall Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. JD McNugent, Wayne, and Darren Silverman only had each other as friends, so that they couldn't possibly add five. But we have at least 5 friends, I think.
That's right. I mean, close to it, I think.
I don't know. It's close, man. I don't know.
We'd have
We
five. We'd have five people in our Neil Diamond cover band for sure.
yes, that. Well, I don't even know what they would play, but they'd be in
Yeah, we don't know the music, but he's out there doing it, and we respect that.
it. Oh my God. I don't even talk to her. Okay, I gave her your word because this is false start.